Hello and happy Saturday to you. So, I have two stories to tell you. The first one is short, and it's the fact that the people upstairs that just moved in about 2 weeks ago are being so loud and noisy today. I'm pretty sure while I'm talking, you'll probably hear them. Um, and they have stomped so hard that there's a light fixture that as you walk in the doorway, that's like the entry light or whatever, and it has one of those old um, heavy glass covers that they've stomped so hard that they knocked the cover out of the light and it fell on the floor. It didn't break, thankfully, but I'm not putting it back in until they're done. So my stress-free apartment has been extremely stressful today, and I should probably get out of here. But I'm afraid of what might fall and get hit Luna or something. Jeez. Um, and then the second story is longer, and I'll try to sum it up a little bit. Try not to make it so long-winded. My mom's heard this already. But Thursday, I was getting on the train and you have to walk up the stairs to get to the platform. And I hear these people yelling. I hear this guy yelling. And he's yelling and he's saying, "What, are you mad because your mom lied to you about Santa Claus?" and stuff like that. And he's saying something about doing cocaine and just saying very pleasant things to people, calling them names and stuff like that. And I hear this other guy say, well, call him say something, and then he said, "What did you call me?" And the other guy said, "I called you a jerk." And the guy's still ranting. Now, of course, I've told you before that there are a lot of crazy people in the city. I mean, it's just a fact. Most of the time, it's at least somewhat entertaining, but sometimes it's a little scary. So this particular one was kind of scary. So we're waiting to get on the train, and the trains were running late. So the train was crowded already. And usually at my stop, I'm so far away from the city that it's pretty late in the mornings. I mean, I could sit or I can stand wherever I want, and then by the time we get downtown, it's super crowded. But this particular morning, it was already crowded because the trains were delayed or something. So anyway, so the train comes, and the guy who was yelling and saying all that crazy stuff about Santa Claus and everything was got on my train car, and I thought, oh man. So I'm hoping, my eternal optimism. I'm hoping that he's just had some sort of whatever interaction with somebody else, and that's that. Well, no, that was totally wrong because this guy proceeded to confront several people on the train and say the same sort of thing to the other people on the train that he had said to the person on the platform, talking about your mother lying and are you from England and stuff like that. And then he would say, "Hey, can I borrow $2?" And the person would say, "No, man, I don't have $2." He'd say he was screaming this. "Oh, well, sorry for inconveniencing you." I mean, just, and it was like on repeat. Like he kept saying the same thing over and over to different people. Well, at one point he runs into somebody on the train, bumps into him, and he says, "Oh, I'm really sorry. The train was moving and I couldn't help it," or something like that. And the guy's like, "Oh, it's all right. I mean, it happens all the time, especially when you're on a crowded train. People are shoulder to shoulder, basically, and you can't help but bump into people, especially, it's a train." Anyway, and the guy, after the guy said, "Oh, that's all right, no problem," or whatever, the guy was, "No, no, I really, 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 really appreciate it. I really appreciate the fact that you accepted my apology." And I mean, he just went on and on like that. And the other guys finally, and I'm facing these people, and I see all this happening. And the other guys finally says, I think he said something like, "All right, man, that's good. That's fine," or something. Basically, tell him to stop it. Well, the guy starts saying something again, yelling at somebody else, and somebody, and so again, this whole time I'm thinking he's just nuts. And so at some point, he starts over again with the Santa Claus thing and the cocaine thing and all that. And somebody, and he was, oh, I forgot to tell you this part. I'm such a bad storyteller. But he was wearing a turban, and somebody else on the train says, "Why don't you go back to your own effing country?" Well, of course, everybody, it's always in the morning, it's totally quiet on the train except for this crazy guy making a you know. Anyway, and when that other person said that, then somebody else said, "Shut the f up." And of course they actually are saying it. I'm trying to keep it PG here. And the other person said that to the person who said, "Why don't you go back to your own country?" Well, then once that happened, then the guy who was causing all the problems to begin with completely changes his tone, completely changes his demeanor, and he's like, "Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, I'm just doing my thing, you know." I was so blown away by the fact that this guy is not, I guess, I don't know if he's not crazy, but is not truly having issues, but is just a jerk, really a jerk. Well, so later on, Thursday, I'm at work and I'm in this meeting, and this guy says to me, "Oh, hey, you live at such and such, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I got a story to tell you later." And I said, "Oh, okay." Well, of course, the whole meeting, I'm thinking, what's the story he's going to tell me? Well, at the end of the meeting, I say to the guy, I was like, "All right, tell me your story." And he says, "So this morning," he says, "my girlfriend and I were walking to the train, and this guy dramatically spins around and spits at his girlfriend, at my friend's girlfriend." And he goes, and then he starts yelling at us about Santa Claus. And I said, "Oh my God, you have got to be kidding me." I said, "I totally heard this guy." I said, "This guy was on my train car." I told him the whole story and everything. And he's like, he goes, "You heard me?" And I said, in that, the person that he was fighting with to begin with was my friend, because my friend was sticking up for his girlfriend. All right, so small world, so weird, but still, anyway. But the guy winds up going about 5 or 6 stops down, and he finally gets off of the train, and he's yelling at everybody, "Have a nice effing day." And he gets on, oh my gosh. Like I said, there are crazy people in this city. They do crazy stuff. It's sometimes mostly sad, but then often entertaining. But this was just, don't do that to people. Just don't. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's morning. Everybody's still half asleep. Everybody's trying to get caffeinated and get woken up for the day. And I couldn't help but think about how much stress people put up with from day to day: financial, relationship, work, all this different stress, their own illnesses and anxieties and things like that. And you have this guy who is purposely setting out to cause problems and upset people. That I don't understand. It wasn't funny, it wasn't entertaining, it wasn't, it was just, mortifying. I mean, I was really, really, really surprised that nobody fought back at him or got violent with him, because the way that he was acting and the things that he was saying, it's just shocking that nobody was upset enough to basically just punch the guy. But I have a feeling that that's what he was after, that he was looking for somebody to physically assault him so that he could get the police, and so that he could make a big deal out of that and take it from there wherever it was going to go. But it was very stressful. It made for a very stressful train ride up until he got off the train. And I mean, it was sort of weird too because everybody was kind of looking at each other and, you know, doing stuff like that and shrugging their shoulders and shaking their head. I mean, it was just crazy. And then, you know, I talk about the crazy stuff. See what I mean? All day it's been like this with them. It sounds like they're throwing things. Um, but I've seen a lot of people on the train who are on repeat, and they really are. I mean, this one guy was saying, you know, asking for money, but then he had this whole thing that he was saying about how he hasn't had a girlfriend in a long time. Sorry, he hasn't had a girlfriend in a long time, and um, it was literally he was on repeat. And then there are other people who get on there and just ask for money. And then one guy one time was walking through asking for money, and by the time he got to because they go in between the train cars, which that scares the crap out of me, because they have to open up the emergency door and then walk through in between the trains, and that's dangerous anyway. That's why it's just an emergency door. And he, by the time he went from one train car into the train car to the other end, he was yelling, "Yeah, thanks for your effing help." I mean, you know, you've got varying levels of problems on the train. So anyway, I just needed to talk because this sound above me is making me just stressed out. I'm watching Cars on Freeform, which I've seen it, but I don't know, it's pretty cute. All right, that's all I have. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you're having a good weekend. Thanks to all the new people that are joining in on Creepy Corners. Um, I'm gonna try to start doing more of like a shorter vlog with a little addition of just saying hi to people who subscribe. So yeah, that's all I got. Say hi, Luna. She says she's very sleepy. She woke me up this morning at 8:30, licking my face. And I don't know what she wanted, because she had food, she had water. Her litter box is clean. I don't know what the heck she was after. I guess she just thought it was time to get up. But I'm sleepy. I wanted to sleep late. Of course, I would have woken up at 10 o'clock anyway when these fools started banging on the floor. Or I guess my ceiling, their floor. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Sorry. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Well, it's Sunday, and they'll probably stop now. But since about 9:30 this morning, there have been the same noises upstairs. Thankfully, I'm about to get ready and go and have lunch. Well, actually, technically dinner, because we're meeting at 4, but with a friend of mine from work. Normally, this place is you know, relaxing and stuff, and I can just chill out, and everything I was saying in my Spooky University response is true, that it's comfortable here and relaxing and whatever. Not yesterday or today. And I'm afraid, I was planning on working from the apartment tomorrow, but I'm afraid now that they're going to be banging around upstairs all day tomorrow too. And can't have that because I got meetings and stuff. Anyway, I just had to get on and complain about that. Hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, so I'm going to take a shower and get ready and head out. We're going to Argyle, which is just a street name, but they have all different like Chinese food restaurants, Korean bakeries, different shops and stuff. So it's me and my friend Matthew are going, who you saw in my Museum of Industry and Technology, I think is what it's called, video. Yeah, so he and I are gonna go hang out and have some lunch or dinner, whatever you want to call it. But I'm gonna be happy to get away from this noise, which of course, like I said, as soon as I started up this camera, they stopped doing it. So just a minute ago, there was a giant bang. I mean, giant. And it's worse because you're sitting there and relaxing, watching TV or whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere. Anyway, it'll be good to get out of here for a little while. I'll probably get some video of some of the shops and stuff out there and show you guys. All right, I'll see you later. Okay, so it's Sunday night, and I just got finished watching The Walking Dead. Of course, gotta watch that. Watching The Talking Dead now, and I was about to start editing a vlog we'll call it a weekend vlog, because it's Saturday and today. And I found out something new about upstairs, which is kind of freaky. So this is story number 3. But what's weird is, so I've been having plumbing issues, which you guys all know. And the maintenance guy came in to check it tonight about 7 o'clock. Well, he goes in and he's telling me all this stuff, which I won't get into that part because it doesn't matter really. I mean, they're going to try to work on it tomorrow morning. But I asked him if I could take a shower in the morning, and he said, no, don't take a shower. He said, there's an apartment down the hallway that you can use if you need to take a shower in the morning. And so we walked down there, and he showed me the apartment and stuff. And when we were walking back to my apartment, I said, what is going on upstairs? I said, do we get new people that moved in upstairs? Because I thought that there were new people that moved in upstairs. Well, apparently that's not the case, which is really strange, because what he tells me is that the guy that was up there, if you remember from my story about the loud bangs and stuff, and the picture falling off the wall, so the guy that was up there then left, and he left a ton of stuff up there. And the maintenance guy told me that they took out 100 bags of garbage over the past 2 days. So what's weird about this, because I had a feeling the guy was probably a hoarder, just because just me standing at his door when I went to check on him and looking in and seeing his kitchen, it was full of stuff. I mean, it was totally full of stuff. So to know that this guy left, and that over the past 2 days that they've been cleaning it out, I'm curious who it was I heard the other day or a couple weeks ago or whatever, when I'm hearing somebody there. I mean, they were running around upstairs giggly and laughy, and it sounded like they were, like play wrestling, and you know how young couples do. Or just couples in general. I guess anybody could play wrestle and stuff. But I'm curious who that was then, because I have never heard these people behind me do that, ever. And it sounded like it was coming from up above me. So that's just strange. And I was telling my mom about the 100 bags of garbage thing. And she reminded me of the fact that I'd heard these people upstairs. Then who was that? So anyway, so I found that out, and then they're gonna come and deal with I already said that. Sorry. So I went to dinner with my friend this evening, my friend Matthew, and we had Chinese food, and the restaurant is really good. I mean, the food's really good, but the people there have such an attitude, which is so strange. Because, like, for example, my friend asked, he's a vegetarian, and he asked if they had vegetarian egg rolls, which, of course, egg roll, I don't know, vegetarian, vegan. I think vegan's when you don't eat anything at all that's meat or animal products, like, so you don't eat milk or drink milk or eat cheese or anything like that. And then I think vegetarian is just where you don't eat meat, but you'll eat some vegetarians, I think, will eat eggs and stuff like that. So anyway, but she said no, just like that. And I was like, why are you getting an attitude with this guy? Why can't you just say no? Anyway, so we had a good time there, and then we went out and got a geocache. I did not take pictures or anything, or video, but it was so exciting because it was my first geocache that I actually found on my own, and I'm the one that actually found where it was hidden. So that's the first time that that's happened, because every other time it's either been, um, mom giving me a little hint, or my husband helping me out, or me going to a virtual cache, that kind of stuff. So this was the first actual real cache that I walked over with my friend, and I actually found where the thing was. So I was pretty impressed by that. I was happy about it. I think that's it. And then we went to CVS, and then I got on the train and came back to my apartment. And that's when the maintenance guy came in, and thankfully I hadn't changed into my jammies or anything because yeah. So that's it. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We'll see about tomorrow's vlog. Spooky University new topic is tomorrow, so I need to do that. I also got a spooky box in the mail, so I'll probably do that little unboxing in the meantime. And yeah. Any theories on what's going on in the apartment above me? Eh. Freaks me out a little bit. I mean, I don't hear anything now, but this weekend, it's no wonder there was so much noise and stuff, because I guess they started at like 9 o'clock in the morning and just were throwing stuff and banging stuff around and everything crazy. And I was so glad to just get out of here for a little while and go out and have dinner and walk around and stuff, because I was going crazy with all the noise upstairs, because it makes you feel like something's gonna fall on your head, or somebody's gonna fall through the floor. That's the thing that I get freaked out about. I kind of feel like I should have gone up there and looked in. They'll probably be doing it tomorrow too, so I bet you I could. I thought about it several times, going up there and saying, hey, you realize that all this stomping is knocking things off of my ceiling, but I didn't. So now I'm very curious to go up there, because then the other thing is, what if this guy left a bunch of stuff? I wonder what all's up there. Maybe there's something cool up there, like a little table or something like that I could use. I am not above getting something secondhand at all. Believe me. And I like to repurpose stuff, so that would be cool. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna stop talking now. Have a great Sunday night and a great Monday, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.